Yeah, we're following a potentially big story in college sports. ESPN has confirmed that Texas and Oklahoma have reached out to the SEC about joining their conference. Neither school would comment, but former Big 12 and current SEC school Texas A&M said it wants to be the only SEC team in Texas. Big 12 athletic directors and administrators are meeting now to discuss the situation. There are many ramifications to a possible move, including Big 12 media contracts with ESPN and Fox that don't expire until 2025. Here's Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warsh on Texas OU potentially joining the SEC.
We're at an inflection point in college athletics. So whether it's name, image, and likeness, whether it's the Austin case, whether it's potential college football playoff expansion, whether it's schools from one conference joining another conference, we're always constantly evaluating what's in the best interest of the conference. It'll be interesting to see how that story that you mentioned yesterday, how that evolves and where it lands.
I've been trying to tell people everybody wants to play in the SEC, man. And if you can attract a couple of really good schools to come play, that's great. I immediately called my athletic director and Jim and told him that if the commissioner changes and adds 2 games to our schedule, I think we all understand that Mark Womack's going to put both Texas and OU on Mizzou's schedule moving forward. So we're ready for any challenge that is thrown at us.
For much more on this developing story, Heather Dinich joins us alongside Wojciechowski, who's in Chicago at Big Ten Media Days. Heather, based on who you've talked to around the sport, where could this be headed next now?
Well, I can tell you that the focus is on this meeting this afternoon, and I spoke to people in the Big 12 who are in this Zoom meeting who didn't know what to expect from their own conference going into it and were sort of blindsided by this and had a completely different take on Monday. But I can also tell you that decision makers throughout sports from coast to coast are planning on this happening because they have to. Because if it does, if Texas and Oklahoma leave, there's going to be a mad scramble for other conferences to pick up the rest of those pieces, and everybody's going to be a survival of the fittest type scenario where just realignment happens, and that's the first domino to fall.
Having flashbacks from a decade ago, Gino, a move like this could have a massive domino effect on every single conference, as Heather talked about, including the Power Five. What sort of reaction have you gathered there in Chicago?
Well, actually, here in Indianapolis, Kevin, it was the very first question that Commissioner Kevin Warsh was asked this morning at his press conference. So obviously, it's on the minds of the media. It's like pouring a pot of coffee into college football. It gets everyone's attention. Barry Alvarez, the longtime Hall of Fame coach at Wisconsin, who was an athletic director at Wisconsin, then retired. Today it was announced that he is going to be a special advisor to the Big Ten. One of his jobs is to monitor the possibility of conference expansion. I talked to him after Kevin Warsh spoke. I asked him, was this even on the radar? He said they didn't even know about it. It was a surprise to him. No talks among ADs in the Big Ten so far, but he said now with this latest news, it's certainly something that they're going to have to consider and be open to.
Yeah, realignment, the idea of moving around has got you in different places. Heather, Gene, with the latest news surrounding a potential expansion in the SEC and the domino effect in college sports.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.